Hello again. Now we're going to see if we can walk and talk at the same time without being too bouncy. We'll see. And I think the lesson I learnt yesterday was I think we need to go a little bit slower when we're moving. You can see here, look, that weights aren't supposed to be there for any particular reason. They're just stuff that I use in the garden. This is the potato bed in front of me. It's a raised bed that was originally just a weedy patch, and I've slowly manipulated it or changed it into a pretty sophisticated raised bed. In the raised bed there we've got some potatoes that are grown, and I'll show you a closer look at those in a moment. A couple of paths down the side of the beds there. In the middle there is a whole row of berries, various berries, raspberries, loganberries, boysenberries, blackberries, you name it. I've got berries. There's probably 40 plants there, I think, as I counted them up yesterday. In the background you can see there's a little bit of a rubbish pile, but I'm slowly sorting myself out. I had a long time working away from home, as you know, and didn't really have the energy to keep the garden up, so it was all a little bit messy. And down the side here on the right hand side you can see the red wheelie bin in the background. That is my water butt. You can see down the right hand side here is my veg bed, and again I'll go down that in a little bit more detail, but just so you get an overview. And I've just planted some peas maybe 3-4 weeks ago with some rather large pea sticks there from the garden. They're growing quite nicely. And I'm starting to install, it's just slow work, starting to install the water system. So my goal here is to try and make this as easy gardening as possible during the summer. I'm sure you have the same, probably you have worse. For those of you who don't know who I'm talking to my parents-in-law, actually, who these videos are made for. Hey John and Corinne, how you doing? But I'm building the beds and doing the watering system to try and make this as easy as possible during the summer months when it's difficult to come out because it's so hot and sweaty. It's difficult to spend much time. We can spend time in the garden, but not much work gets done. You can see there's some sweet corn that I've just put in a few days ago. Seems to be okay. The frost here is marginal. Whenever it says on the weather forecast that it's going to get to, let's say, 4 or 5, it actually gets to 0 here. So I do get frosts probably 3 or 4 degrees lower than other areas, certainly the forecast says. And that's another potato bed there. And what I'm just going to slowly pan down. The pipe system here is kind of like marks out where I'm intending to have an extended vegetable bed all the way along here. And I've kind of dug it out, but there's still some weeds to collect. And then there's a section there that I haven't dug out, but I will do at some point. To reach actually that bed there, there's some lavender at the end there that I'm intending to keep. And in fact I've taken some cuttings and stuck them in the side of the bed there. Lavender I find tends to strike real easy. I've got loads of lavender plants. It's a little bit too easy. Do I mean lavender? I don't mean lavender, I mean rosemary, don't I? Sorry, that's rosemary, not lavender. Now lavender is over here. There's lavender, there. And that's grown a little bit like a weed, and it needs, as you see, a little bit of care and attention. I haven't spent much time on that area.